All right. So, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Knit State of Mind podcast. This is episode 25. We're coming from the Bay Area. It's a sunny Friday afternoon. Is today the 9th? April 9th. Um, I'm Wanda, and you can find us and our knits on Instagram, Knit State of Mind. My personal account is Zest in Class. And then on Ravelry, it's wattywat.
And I'm Heather, and I am heathertee on Ravelry and heathertee3 on Instagram. I did finally post something on Instagram earlier this week after a long hiatus, yes.
What did you post? I guess I missed it.
Um, I went hiking with a friend and her new puppy, so I was like, we got to have a puppy photo on Instagram.
When the spirit moves you, there we go.
So what have you been up to? I see you're wearing a new sweater.
Yes. So I did finish my heirloom jumper by Fabel Knitwear. It's knit using Beehive Yarns and a strand of mohair, Biches mohair. And those who have been watching, you know the color, the shades are slightly different. And what I ended up doing, because I did the sleeves two at a time, is I wound these balls by hand. So I have two balls like this. This is how much I have left from it. And it made it a lot easier to manage and knit the sleeves two at a time. So I'll show you. I've spoken about the pattern before. I knit it a little bit longer, about an inch, inch and a half longer than the pattern calls for. That's the front, the back. The ribbing is all twisted stitches, and then she has this beautiful lace chart that is easy to follow and memorizable. So this all around was an extremely fun knit.
Mhm.
The stockinette with a little bit of interest here, and it's totally my style. This is I'll probably get one more chance to wear this before it's out of season, but I'm ready for the fall, and I love how the colors turned out. Yeah, I couldn't be happier with it. It's always a gamble. I'm probably an intermediate knitter at this point, but I don't swatch often. I've just been going off of experience and trying to guess. So I think I can't remember if I ended up doing the second or the third size. But I checked gauge once I was into it. And it was easy because of the similarities in the stitch count to jump from the second to the third or whichever I ended up deciding to do. So yeah, I don't really, I don't know. I
It
think
looks
I keep feeling like I'm so lucky when these fits end up working out. And then you all probably remember she has two sleeve options. It's meant to have kind of like a puff sleeve detail, but she has an option of doing an extreme one and a subtle one. Really, just because I was lazy, I went with the subtle one, so you can't see it that much. But then it also, we talked about this previously. It has a different sleeve construction. I think is what a satin sleeve rather than a raglan sleeve, and so that happened to work out as well. Like, look at this. It's good. So yeah.
Well, first of all, you blend in with your background, so your color style is consistent. No, it looks amazing, and I was gonna say the same thing about the sleeve. I just feel like there's something about the set-in sleeve that gives such a tailored, like
Mhm.
polished look. I mean, I like a raglan too, but that sleeve just looks really sharp.
Yeah, it does. And this is a first time for me. And we'll talk about it a little bit later. But I mean, it's a unique, semi-unique,
Mhm.
not as common construction element. And so um, we'll keep with that theme as we go through the episode. So, yeah. What about you? It looks like you're wearing a finished object as well.
I do want to say also, you get so lucky with sweaters fitting you. I feel like I do not ever have that same luck if I don't swatch.
I'm not on wood right now because so far so good, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm wearing my Florin Triangle by Leila Raven. So I'll take it off and show you in a minute because it's a little hard to see because it's a dark color. But it's knit in this olive green BC Garn Bio Shetland, which is an organic wool. And I'm just really happy with it. We talked last time about how I needed a replacement for my olive green shawl. And it's just got this lace pattern and then a different lace for the border. It's a nice triangle, as the name would imply, Florin Triangle. And then there's a, I didn't write down what it's called, but it's like a horizontal stitch there. I don't know if you can see. There's like these, it's like a horizontal braid type of stitch here.
Yeah,
Yeah. So those took forever, but they look really pretty because they go perpendicular to the normal knit stitches and they lay flat. I think, especially in a lighter colored yarn, it would really pop out, but in real life, you can see it pretty well.
yeah,
So yeah, I'm really happy with it. It came out a really nice. I did, of course, it's a shawl, so I did not swatch, but it came out a really good size um, for just wrapping around, and I'm very happy with it.
yeah. The lace work on that is really beautiful. I'm particularly struck by the edging, the outer sections.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it was really because I think we've talked before about how I'm not hugely into knitting lace. It's just not my favorite thing to knit, but this was really easy because it was only every fourth row on the main body, and then this border pattern because it also had this horizontal braid was like interesting, right? So yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I think also because I used this more like woolly wool. It
mm,
wasn't like a slippery, so I wasn't losing stitches, like is part of the reason I don't really like knitting lace. So yeah, I'm very happy with it. So
awesome.
yeah, that's my angle.
How much yarn
Uh,
did you make?
I ended up only using 2 balls of this yarn, and I think they were each 50 grams, so 100 grams of yarn. I did buy 3 balls, but I didn't. I had just a teeny tiny nugget of the second ball left. So I think it was like 600-ish yards, 550 yards maybe that I used.
Yeah,
So
wrong with that.
yeah, the pattern is written actually for a like a merino superwash type yarn, and I think it's requires two. It requires more than one skein of that yarn that it calls for. But yeah, yeah, I'm very happy with it. And again, I probably won't wear it a ton this year because it's starting to get not. I mean, it's kind of always scarf weather, but not woolly scarf weather. So we'll see. But I have it for next year.
Exactly. Exactly. It's, I mean, it's nice to have things ready in advance for the upcoming season. So cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Anything else?
yeah. So just a quick show and tell with these. My,
Oh, nice. Halloween socks are done.
my Halloween socks are done. They have been worn already. I could not wait. And as you could probably assume, they coordinate well with a lot of my clothes. And so this is just Nomadic Yarns. I talked about the name of the yarn last episode, and I used some leftover blue here, and then I used black on the heel, twisted cuff. I found that I blocked them. I don't often block right away, but I blocked them, and they grew some. So I'm thinking that I might be a 56 stitch kind of gal. So I'm gonna try that out with my next pair of socks and see. I mean, they're fine, but you know, they're a little loose. So I'm going to see how the 56 works. I might
Or you might need to use a size zero needle
or
and make, yeah.
do I have a size zero, but I have them in the 9-inch circulars, and I tried that before. I might revisit it to see, but size zero 9-inch probably is not the best combination. But yeah.
Yeah, that would be a little fiddly. Yeah. I find that they don't stretch as much on the smaller needle too because the gauge is tighter.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I mean it's worth a try. So I'll probably give it a try and see what happens.
yeah. Or do 56 stitches, but
Oh, right? Like
well, I finished some socks also. I had started these last time and shown them, but my Firefighter, Felici Firefighter socks are done. So this is Knit Picks Felici in the color Firefighter, and then just a stroll, Knit Picks Stroll gray for the heel. So those are done and going in the gift basket.
awesome.
I did knit these on a size 0. I think I did 76 stitches. Um, yeah, so excited to have those done. So yeah.
The stripy socks. You can't really go wrong. So
No.
yeah,
Yeah.
stripy socks kick for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I mean, sometimes I think it's a little bit boring, but it's a good project to have just on the go when you
Exactly.
want to. Yeah. I did start another pair, unless you have any other FOs.
No, I do not. I do not.
Um, Show my next pair that I started. So I had done these ones 2 at a time, but I realized that I'm not enjoying knitting 2 at a time socks right now.
Really? I have the opposite feeling this time around. This time around, I was like, "Oh, I'm digging the two pairs at a time thing."
Yeah, I don't know. I just was feeling like it's like a lot to like navigate. I don't know. I just was not feeling it. So I started these ones 1 at a time. So this is 64 stitches on a 0. I think I'll probably do an afterthought heel just because I don't want to have to think about, um, you
Yeah.
know, until I use up half of this and then start the other one. So anyway, and this color is unicorn.
I like that color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made some shorties out of the. I had 2 balls of this color, and I made shorties out of the other ball earlier this year. So now,
It's really
yeah. hmm It's kind of. I was kind of wishing that I had pulled the ball out to make this. Like, I feel like this stripe is really different than the others, and I wish I would have put that stripe at the top. But whatever. I'm not gonna pull it out. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. It is what it is now.
Is what it is. That'll be beneath whoever's pant legs anyway. So
There you go. Cool. What about whips?
whips. I have one other whip. How about you?
I have two, and I can do a quick update on the one. I don't need to speak about this for long. Um, Dang. And I said I could do a quick update and what this is what is this called again? Oh, this is the Minaret by Christina Danaee. And I am still doing raglan increases. So I think I'm on like 50 something, and I have about 80 rounds until I'm done with the increases. So still loving it. It's Onyx Fiber Arts yarn and the Sofia colorway. And it's a different color for me, but I think it'll be good. Branching out a little bit. And it's a bunch of twisted stitches. So I've been feeling the twisted stitches. I mean, we all know I have a thing for the twisted. So, but this is a lot of twisted stitches and a lot of purling. So
Well, so it must be. It looks really nice, but it's probably slower going than if it was
it's,
knits.
I
Yeah.
mean, definitely slower going than stockinette, but not that bad. And the pattern is easy to follow and remember, so I can multitask while working on this. But yeah, you know, taking my time.
Yeah, it's your spring and summer palette,
Yes.
right? Your fall palette.
So and I think I mentioned I am in my spring, summer, just slightly warmer weather mode. I mean, it starts getting sunny and I can't help it. So I'm excited about that. So I need to get going on it so I can wear it, get a chance to wear it.
Yeah. I was just thinking I want to after I finish this whip that I'm about to show, I want to pick up my pin tuck t-shirt again and finish that because I have so little to do. I just have like the one front or something to finish on that, and then I can wear that one.
I didn't realize that one wasn't done.
So
Okay.
I put it aside because it got to the like fiddly little teeny skinny strap part that I didn't want to do. So
Yeah. I just remembered I have this printed out, but
oh, nice.
how visible that is.
Yeah, you can't see the detail of the twisted stitches as much on that photo as you can in the one in real life.
So yeah, my copy suffices. Excellent.
Yeah, nice. Well, I have been working on Shifty.
Oh yes.
Um, so when we were talking about recording yesterday, I had told Wanda I was going to try to get this to a good place to show. So I did do that, except that so I'm done with the body now.
Wow.
But the body has a tubular bind off, and somehow I got one stitch off on the tubular bind off about halfway through, so I might have to tear that out and fix it. But anyway, so here's the thing. This is Shifty by Andrea Mowry using a bunch of old stash yarn. And if you're new here, I ripped this out in several times. So this is about the third time that I've knit the body. So the body's done. I'm actually going to put it on to show you what it looks like. Hopefully it'll fit over this.
Let me grab something.
Softness, kind of poofy sleeves, but okay. So here it is, and it actually does fit okay. Let's see, let me get so you can see most of me. So it does fit pretty well. Because it's a yoke, the back is a little bit bunchy. Like, I don't know if you can see that. But I think it'll be okay with blocking. But here's the problem. So the problem is that I'm almost out of the brown yarn. So I don't know what to do. So I'm thinking about just keeping it short sleeved. Mm-hmm. So I might just pick up here around the armhole and do like a 1x1 rib similar to the...
Yeah.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick that up. I'm going to do just a ribbing to finish it off. And then I'm going to block it and see if the waviness on the back evens out. Mm-hmm. And if it looks okay, then I'll pull out the tubular bind off and fix it because that's a lot of work to fix a tubular bind off. I'm just like kicking myself. I don't know how I got one stitch off, but anyway. So if it blocks out okay after I do the sleeves, then I'll fix the tubular bind off. And then if it doesn't block out okay, I think that's it. I think I'm abandoning it. I think that's my sign that this project is doomed.
Oh, well, I mean, you will be able to say that you've done your due diligence.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I honestly think I was just thinking earlier today after I realized I had messed up the tubular bind off, I was like, I don't even think I have it in me to like tear it out and use the yarn for something else. I think I'll probably just put the finished sweater in the donate pile and somebody else can either wear it or
yeah.
If I block it and it blocks out okay, maybe I'll still get to wear it.
Yeah, yeah. That sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Reasonable. Yeah.
It's pretty heavy because it's like a wool cotton, so it's like not just like warm, but it's like actually literally heavy. So I feel like it's definitely a winter sweater, so I'm gonna have to wear it with like a turtleneck or something if I keep it short sleeved. But anyway, that's Shifty.
This is not encouraging me to finish my Shifty at all.
Well, I think what I realized is, and I've been meaning forever, I think I said this on a previous episode and I still haven't done it. I saw that the yarn curator posted a video about how to do a bust adjustment for a yoked sweater. Mm-hmm. And I keep meaning to watch. By the time she had posted that, I was well past the yoke on this. But I would still like to watch it because I think what I did wrong, and I forget, I saw on some other podcast something about this. I think if I had instead of splitting it exactly in half front and back, I think if I had done like 60% of the stitches on the front and 40% on the back, that would have made the back not so wavy because, for most women, your front is bigger than your back, right? So I think that would have helped. But again, I mean, I'm not at this point. I've pulled it back so many times, it's not worth it to me to fix it. But I probably should have done that.
Yeah.
But
I mean, lessons learned, right? That's our knitting journey here.
yeah. So, anyways, I mean, I am feeling proud of myself, and I actually really like how the color and everything like that turned out. I'm
Yeah.
very happy with like the aesthetics of it.
Yeah,
It's just whether or not it's going to fit properly, and yeah.
yeah, the blue did work out. Yeah. Well, we'll see. To be continued.
Be continued. Hopefully, by next episode, we'll have a final determination about the fate of the.
I can't wait to see what happens. So I have one more whip that I'm super excited about because it's been in my queue probably since we started this podcast. I don't know if Heather knows what I'm referencing,
No,
but it is the Laden tea.
I don't know that one. Oh, I do know that one. Yes, I do know from Pom, right? Yeah. Yes, I love that top.
So this was Pom Pom, I think summer 2018 or something. I don't know. It's by Natalie Sells, and of course, this color drew
Mhm.
my attention. I like lines apparently. And so, as the weather started getting warmer, I thought to myself, it's time to get those short sleeve knits going. So, here's what I have so far. And look at your face.
Is it? I'm trying to see what color it is. Is it gray and white?
Oh, let me talk about that. So here's my plan.
That face, 'cause when we talked earlier about the colors, I wasn't expecting those colors.
Did we talk about the colors?
Maybe I just thought we did, so I guess not.
Okay, is this showing up? I can't tell.
Yeah, I think it's showing up. Is it a gray or a green?
It's a green.
I think I was expecting gold.
So I went through, I don't remember what we discussed about the colors, but I know we discussed it. And oh, yeah, so I was having a thing where I wanted to resort to my usual, which would have been gold, like mustard or burnt orange, essentially. Um, but then I also like these olive greens. So I was looking at an olive green or like a greenish bluish, like teal but lighter color. And so I went with this green and it's called basil and I'm in love with it actually. There, you can see it better there.
It looks like a similar color to what I'm wearing, actually.
Yeah, it does. So this yarn, I don't know what's going to happen when I block it, but it's been beautiful to work with. I'm in love. Like I am seriously in love. It's deep.
Nice.
It's the fiber company, Luma. So it's
Mm-hmm.
organic cotton, linen, merino, and silk.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
but
I've heard of that yarn before, but I don't think I've ever touched it.
this
Yeah.
yarn is divine. It is divine. So the construction of this top is pretty unique. It's modular, so there's a lot of breaking of the yarn. So as you can see, there will be many ends to weave in at the end, picking up stitches, etc. Just from my preview of the pattern. But it's enjoyable. So far it's been pretty straightforward for me. I did have to rip out half of this and redo it because of I misread slip slip knits versus slip 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 knits basically. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. And so you do the center panel first, and then it's a modular construction. So you pick up to do the left and the right and the back. So
And is the rest of it in the white or in the green?
It's in green.
Green. Okay.
Dress is in green. So, and lately I've had this pattern of running out of yarn because I only bought one ball of this cream color. And I'm hoping I make it through because I've been running out and then having to wait to get the yarn in the mail. But I can't wait. I'm knitting the third size. Again, I didn't what do you call it? Do a swatch, but so far so good. And I'm hoping for kind of like a loose fit,
Mm-hmm.
comfy loose fit.
Like a drapey
Yeah,
summer. Yeah.
exactly. Wear it with leggings or some shorts type of deal. But yeah, I'm excited about that. Um, do you have others?
I do. I have one other. I started another Twigs
Oh, that's right. I know that.
last time. Yeah. So this is it's black and white from my printer, but this, if you've forgotten, this is what Twigs looks like. I have another version that I made last year. I finished it right around this time last year, I think, but I had started it in like February of last year. That's cream and orange. Um, Again with the cream and the orange, but this one I am making out of like this smoky purplish pink and a couple other cream type colors. So I started this. I was having a couple really stressful days at work, and in the evening, I was like, I need to just do something that's going to really take all of my brain space to help me decompress. I don't want to lose any stitches here. So I started this.
It is so gorgeous.
Isn't it? I'm so happy with it. So I just finished. Anyone who's knit one of these before or has seen the pattern, this is the biggest chart. It's like an 80 stitch repeat. So I just finished. Took me like a week to get this one chart done. And Yeah, I'm just really happy with it. My vision for the colors, I think, is working out good.
Good.
So
It's working. It's good.
yeah. You can kind of see here, you can really see on this repeat right here how there's like kind of like a pinkish beige. It's a little sparkly. I don't know if you can tell it on camera, and then like more of a white or an off-white. Um, so yeah, I'm really happy with it. I have two more smaller charts before I split for the sleeves. And my other goal was that this is gonna, my other one is quite, I mean, the pattern is one size and it's supposed to be quite oversized, but I knit that out of a little bit of a thicker yarn. So this is a thinner yarn, so I'm hoping it's gonna be a little bit smaller and closer fitting like through the yoke. It'll still be, it's kind of A-line, but it does seem like it's turning out smaller, which is what I wanted. So I'm knitting this on a size 0.
I was going to ask what size needle you were using. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And since it's one size and I had made the other one, I didn't swatch, but I just figure it is all of it is superwash yarn, so it will grow a little bit, but it's a pretty tight gauge, so it shouldn't grow too much. But yeah, so I'm very excited about that. And it is really fun, and it's a lot of work, but it is really fun to work on.
You keep saying that.
So I'm just saying, if you want to start yours.
I don't know how many times I've alluded to the idea of me casting that on.
Yeah.
I posted to our stories the other day. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I'll share a picture. I'll text you a picture. Or actually you can check the archive. But it's literally a bunch of shades of like rust orange
Ugh,
from Knit Picks. I should
yeah.
I should have brought the yarn here so I could show you all those colors. Cool.
So,
Um, all right. So I
yeah.
should I bring up the make along or
Sure. I have a couple cross stitch things to show too, but why don't you talk about the make along first, and then I'll do that after.
okay. So because it's kind of related to this, as I was working on this, I and thinking about something else I'm going to cast on soon. I'll share a picture with you. I was thinking about things that, well, initially I was thinking about things with a unique construction. And so then I checked in with Heather and we were talking about having a unique make along. So the hashtag is going to be hashtag unique MAL. And so it's for anything unique. And we know that uniqueness is relative, right? So it can be a unique construction, it can be unique colors, and what would be unique for you in terms of colors, a unique pattern, stitch. It doesn't have to be knit. What else would count as unique? Um,
I mean, I was thinking because when I was thinking about okay, what can I cast on? I was thinking also if the colors you're using are like very very different from what the designer used in the pattern, that would be another example of something unique.
yep.
Uh, yeah.
The other thing, oh wait, I lost the thought. Oh, unique yarn,
Mhm.
right? Something that's unique for you, just in terms of texture or what it's composed of as well. And so I'll share quickly the other thing that's motivating me, and I've mentioned it before, but oh yeah, and I've tried to show it before, but I don't think it works.
Oh, is that the shiny superheroes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I still have a couple of her patterns I wanted also.
You can't see that. But that is shiny. So I need a cardigan. I need a cardigan that I'm going to wear often. And so I keep coming back to this cardigan. It's the Amalia cardigan and it's in Tarja. So one, that technique is unique to me, but her style, it keeps attracting me. And I really wish you could. I have it on my computer. Maybe I'll share my
Yeah,
screen.
share your screen.
Let me share my screen.
Yeah, I was thinking about, oh, so update on my plover cardigan that I showed last time. I have been wearing that a ton. Yeah, oh yeah. That's are you thinking about making it in more of like a monochrome or like a grayscale version?
So I have my yarn too. I'll stop sharing. But no, I don't know if I'm going to share. But anyway, what's interesting is that it uses fingering weight yarn, and so you can marl as well. And I don't think I've ever marled yarn, so that's going to be unique for me and figuring out how I want to do it. And the design overall is unique, and Tarja is unique. Um, I'm not pushing myself to be super out there with my color choices, but yeah, so yeah, that's the unique make along. And I'm not gonna spend too much time, but I had caught the sale. Maybe I showed it before, right? So it was grays, creams, blacks.
Yeah.
And I have two grays. I have a light gray and a dark gray. But then I'm doing a pop of color, but this was the plan,
Mhm.
and it might still be the plan. But then part of me wants to resort to my old ways and color like this, but Cloudborn doesn't have a color right now. And so I'm not sure because these are the Cloudborn Merino.
Mhm.
I don't know
I mean,
what.
I like it with the red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this is Highland,
Hmm.
the Knit Picks palette, Highland wool.
I mean, it would look good with either.
Can I
But
mix
yeah.
Can I mix superwash merino with Highland wool? It's probably not a good idea to superwash with a non-superwash though.
I mean, if you're not going to put it in the washing machine, I don't see why it would matter,
No.
right? I don't know.
So I guess also y'all give me your opinion. I mean, I know this doesn't look super interesting holding it up, but I think it would be nice, particularly marled with the cream and the black or whatever. So what are you thinking of doing?
Well, I actually just got some yarn the other day. Let me see if I can pull this up for I haven't bought barely any yarn all year, but I've been wanting to make this pattern for a long time called Rosencrantz. No, Guildenstern. I knew it was one of those. So it's this top And I actually had started making it once before because I had happened to have some like leftovers of the yarn that it called for. Here's the front. It's just like kind of also a boxy summer top.
Hmm.
So I was thinking about getting some similar colors to this, which is like a black and a white and a gray. But I ended up getting shades of red and orange because it kind of like starts from the darkest color at the bottom and then works up to the cream. So I got a red and then a darker orange and a lighter orange and a cream.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's very different than the pattern. So that's why I was thinking of that for the unique.
Yeah.
Um,
It makes me think of a phoenix rising for some reason when you describe the colors. So, yeah.
We'll see how it ends up actually looking, but I feel like I actually don't wear stripes very often, but for some reason I'm really drawn to that shape because it's just like a little, also similar, like a little boxy and
Mhm.
drapey, summery. So
Yeah.
uh, we'll see. That's initially what I'm thinking, and then I have a couple Intarsia projects that I want to make. Um, and then I was also thinking I have like a couple of yarns that I got at the resale yarn store that are just like unique or different because they're like discontinued or you don't really see people knitting with them. So I was like, oh, I can make one of those things too.
Yeah. So
So
you
we'll see.
have a lot of options.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I really,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, this year I really want to make a crocheted garment. For me, that would be unique because I've never made anything crocheted other than toys and blankets. So I have several crochet garment patterns pulled up that I might want to try. So.
I like that idea too. Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,
Mhm.
Lots of options. So we're officially kicking it off as today, April 9th, and we'll run for a while. I think at least 3 months, and see how things are going. So definitely, we'll open a thread on Ravelry for folks for whom that's accessible for them. And then definitely use the hashtag on Instagram, unique make along. I want to see what y'all are doing. I want to be inspired, stepping out. I mean, I'm also, that's how I shop too. Like, I have a pretty simple style, but I like simple with unique elements as well. So it'd be nice to see what's out there.
Agreed. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. It'll be fun. And also like I don't know if you said this when you were maybe you already said it, but thinking also about like unique patterns or patterns that you don't see a lot of people knitting. Like
Exactly.
oh,
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Let those patterns shine. Definitely get their shine for sure.
Cool. Well, I did bring a couple cross stitch things to show. I was thinking the other day I haven't showed any cross stitch in a long time. So first I wanted to, and these are, it's funny because, so some people that are really expert cross stitchers do like make a lot of changes to patterns and change the colors and everything, but everything I'm showing today is like exactly like what the pattern says, so it's not unique. But I think my plan for them is unique. So this, I don't remember if I showed this when I was working on it, but I framed it a few months ago, and I just am in love with this piece. Um, so this is called The Light by Barbara Anna,
Mm,
and it was actually a free pattern. You might still be able to get it from her Instagram. But I just am in love with this
beautiful.
with her lantern. um, so I framed that and I have it up in my living room. And I have since gotten really obsessed with portraits of animals. So I have now like a vision of this one wall in my living room that I want to fill with like portraits of animals and clothes.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. I mean, I'm an animal lover, so.
So I've been working on two other things. The first one, this is what it's going to look like. It's this like Highland coo with a hat and a scarf. So this is as I should have ironed these, but this is as far as I've gotten on him.
That's a lot of progress since the last time you showed me. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
So it's very time consuming because it's full coverage. So like every square is stitched and it's all different colors. So it takes a lot of concentration. So I worked on this for quite a while and then I put it aside a little bit and started working on a different animal portrait that I've been on spring break this week. Um, so I'm working on this lady. Um,
Is that a kitty?
it's a kitty, and I don't know why she has a pumpkin. I guess she's trick or treating. But I was thinking about taking the pumpkin out, but then I just felt like it gave her a little character, so I kept the pumpkin in. But I have that much of it.
Mm,
Um, and she has a companion. Uh, there's another kitty with different clothes that I didn't bring the pattern, but I'm gonna make both of them so I have like the fabric there. And my vision is to mount them in like a side by side, you know, frame. So I'm getting very excited for my animal portrait wall. I know it's ridiculous, but I've favorited a whole bunch of other animal portrait cross stitches and
awesome. Huh.
someday the animal portrait wall will come to life and I will post on Instagram when it does. But
I have to share it with them for sure. Cool.
yeah,
Wow.
so that's what else I've been working on. Yeah.
Well, that's a whole lot. Really. Yeah. It's been interesting lately because sometimes when I'm stressed or overwhelmed, I don't want to knit or craft. And right now it's been helpful for decompressing. So like I give myself a cutoff time, 5, 6 o'clock, no more work, and then I turn to my knitting to really kind of help me create those boundaries essentially. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's what I was saying about the twigs is like when I really just want to only think I because I have to think a lot about that and same with this guy, this Highland Coup, he requires a lot of thought also, so those are really good projects to work on when I just need to like take my mind off things.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so lots of different and then you've got your stockinette socks for when you want to just
Exactly.
long and not think, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
different purposes.
Yeah. Um so I think that's it. Anything else we wanted to say today? I did want to say, I meant to say this at the beginning, but thank you everyone for all your comments on last week's episode. We had quite a lot of very nice comments last time, and especially a few comments from a couple other people in the education field. So it was nice to see those comments and, you know, thinking about you guys as you're going through your work for these next few months until the end of this school year. Um, so yeah, I did want to say that. So we always appreciate all of your comments. And I guess that's it, right?
Until next time.
Until next time, we'll see you in a few weeks.
Bye.